hello, BeLivers. I'm Irene. I'm the marketing manager at BeLive, and this is a historic moment because this is our first official live on the BeLive YouTube channel. So, if you're wondering if you should go live on YouTube, this is the best broadcast that you should watch right now. And of course, if you are a coach, an online instructor, and you have online courses in places like Udemy, this is also the best live for you because we have Stephen Healy and Marco Novo, and they have courses in Udemy, and they can help us share their expertise on how they've been using YouTube Live on driving traffic to their Udemy courses and other interesting tips on how you can grow your network using live video. And of course, I also have some new things that I want to show to you in the studio. If this is your first time watching Be Live, or this is the first time you're encountering a broadcast from Be Live, then it's also a great broadcast for you because this is actually what I'm going to show you. Let me share my screen, and I think we can bring up actually Steven. Da-da! And and Marco. Yeah, I'm going rogue on our plan.
Right, okay. I'm just about to take a drink of
Okay,
tea.
now I'm good.
We're good.
Hello.
Steven, thank you so much for joining us. Can you share a little bit about yourself for those who are watching this for the first time and they don't know who you are yet?
Thank you, Irene, and it's good to be here. I got involved with live video 5 years ago, and in those days, it was the Wild West and everybody was having fun. And since then, it's become more sophisticated, more professional. And we are able to go live on Facebook. And as soon as we could go live on Facebook, BeLive began in October 2016, and I've been using BeLive since that time. Now, I enjoy using BeLive and telling stories on BeLive, and everybody joins in and people tell their stories. But you've also got, besides the stories that you tell, you've got expertise. And that expertise can be in any area. It can be in accounting. It can be, well, anything you can dream of. You've learned how a particular skill. One of the best things you can do, and I believe this is true, is you can share your skills with other people. Now, you do that by creating a course. Now, the course is video-based, and it's on Udemy. Now, Udemy is the world's largest place for actually allowing us to store our courses and get paid. And it's just an amazing place. You actually upload your videos, upload your questionnaires, upload your assignments, and you gradually build a course. And that course takes people through the topic that you have expertise in. And the miraculous thing is that if you get it right, then people will pay you to learn from you. And it's a personal experience. So Udemy is quite probably the best place to do it. And you've got to be able to promote. And if you were to go to Facebook, you wouldn't be able to find anything. But if you go to Google and to YouTube and you check out Udemy, you'll find a lot of videos which are about Udemy courses, mine included.
Awesome. Thank you, Stephen. I have a lot of questions about the combination of YouTube and Udemy. And I will park those questions for now. And let's hear from Marco. So, Marco, tell us more a little bit about your live streaming experience and also your expertise in Udemy.
Well, hello. Hello, everybody. Hello, Karen. Hello, Irene. Hello, Stephen. We were together a few minutes ago, I think. Well, it came almost by accident. I started live streaming in 2015, also on BeLive, just like Stephen. It was by accident, those moments that someone asks you, do you want to join? And let's go. And then I was live. And it was, as I used to say, it was love at first live. And
I love that.
And it was amazing. The very next day, I was talking to everybody. Look, I had this experience yesterday. Oh my God, it's huge. Do you want to join me? And people start looking at me. What? Are you crazy? What did you smoked and so on? Are you drunk? And I fell in love absolutely. Then I made a few broadcasts across Blab. Then let me put aside. Okay, now I'm okay. Then Blab went down. I was waiting till Facebook release live streaming for people, not celebrities, in 2015, 16. And then I met in 17 BeLive. I felt in love and about how easy it is to go live, how the results people say, oh, how do you do that? Oh, the comments on the screen and all that kind of stuff. It's amazing. I felt in love with this platform, with this tool that is live streaming and BeLive. And then one thing that people used to think about content, it's, oh, why should we produce content and live streaming? It's crazy, it's nuts, because people won't pay because of that. False. Because two things. First one, after, let me put my finger on the right place, okay? After you produce lots of content, you can put it together and create a course, for instance. If you do it intentionally, okay, I'm gonna talk about topics on my live streamings, which at the end will become a course. If you think that way, you have a way to make money. And the second thing is, by doing often, you become an expert, and then you can sell your expertise to someone else who need it. So don't close the door to anything that could come across you, and that in the middle term and long term could help you, which was what happened to me. I didn't figure it out when I started live streaming and then fell in love with this, how many things I could get from this. And the most important of all, get good friends like you two.
And speaking of good friends, we have another one that is joining us right now, and I'm gonna bring her in. So I am so happy to be on screen with you guys. We've been, yay!
Hello,
Oh,
Brigetti.
Hello,
Brigetti.
Brigitte.
Yeah, so
Hello, everyone. Greetings from Cape Town.
I'm so glad you're here. We were just talking about like how we've started with live streaming. If you can introduce yourself, especially to those who are watching or coming across Be Live for the first time, we'd love to know more about your live streaming background and how you came across Be Live. And just a quick shout out to Karen Glasser. Thank you so much for watching. I actually, I think even before I started working with Be Live, I already saw Karen's
Mhm.
broadcast, and it's amazing. And then also I'm a big fan of her hair. So thank you so much for joining. Karen, we're so happy you're here. Brigetti, I would love to know more about you.
Well, thank you very much. I'd like to think of myself as an accidental streamer. It came about by accident, but it was a great accident. It's the best accident that's ever happened to me. I basically live with chronic pain. I've always been an outgoing person. I've always loved connecting communities. And when my health took me away from that, I was not a very happy camper. And while I was trying to recuperate, live streaming became a thing. And I realized, but if I could learn how to do this, and I want to tell my story because I'm sure there's other people that relate to how I felt in the beginning. And I realized if I could master this, I could do what I love doing, but do it online. But I can tell you without a doubt, the first time I went on screen, I was shaking in my boots. I literally had a hard time pressing the go live button. I would tremble. I would hyperventilate. I just felt like, I was going to have a heart attack if I pressed the go live button. It was really, really difficult. So if you're out there, you're watching this, now I run a number of shows. I love Be Live TV. I love what it does. I love the opportunities opened up to me, not just to me, but my community as well. So if you're sitting out there and you're watching this and you're thinking, I can't do that, I can't go live, I get you. I totally get you. You can overcome this fear. And mostly, I think I want you to know if you're watching this and you having a hard time going live, either for personal use, to serve your community, to serve your business, whatever the reason is you want to go live, just know that that fear that we have in the beginning lives only in our minds and in our heads. It's the same as an author. You know, an author exposes themselves. And authors are also afraid in the beginning because you're bearing your soul to the rest of the world. And live streaming is much like authoring information, putting it out there to the rest of the world on live on camera. It's not rehearsed. It's real. It's raw. It's authentic. So if you're scared to hit the go live button, just know that that fear can be overcome. And I think all of us sitting here on camera are a testimony to the fact that you too can do it, because our stories are so different, and we made it happen.
Awesome. Thank you, Brigetti. There's so much to unpack here. And I love that you tackled how to overcome your fear of just like pressing the go live button. Steven, Marco, do you have like one tip for people who are scared to go live?
Marco. Well, I'm thinking.
Well, if you are afraid to go live, just one tip: reach me out and I can help you.
Perfect answer. Steven.
Yeah, my tip would be if you at all frightened about it, then go live in a private group first to practice, and also be a guest on other people's shows. Being a guest, you don't have anything to do. I mean, like Brigetti, Marco, and I can just sit here, and Irene's producing the show. All we have to do is talk. So go on as a guest. It's simple and straightforward to do. All you need is your camera, a microphone, Chrome browser, and you can be a guest in anybody's shows. And we know from everybody who posts in BeLivers that people are always looking for people who want to tell their stories.
Awesome. Yeah, I love the very specific tip of, because I actually did that. I went live to a private group there's just two people, and just so I could practice. Like, BeLive is super easy to use. I actually tried a lot of stuff even before I went go live with BeLive, and even before I started working at BeLive. So like, but BeLive was like hands down the easiest to use. And at that time, it was just like released on Facebook. Facebook Live was just released, and I was just in love. I was scared, but like seeing like the video of what I made, even it was just like 3 minutes long, it was very fulfilling, and I guess I kind of got addicted. So it's kind of addictive once you actually get into it. So
Absolutely.
Totally, you get bitten by the bug, and you want
yes,
to go live, and you want to go live with purpose. And Brigetti and I, amongst other things, have been broadcasting live for over 2 years now on BeLive, and we enjoy
Um,
every moment of it. We've met hundreds of people around the globe, and just to say to everybody that Brigetti and I will be back in April. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, and
wow,
I want to underpin what you said, Stephen. Being able to go live with a purpose and being able to serve a community of people, fulfill a need in the community. And also you said about going live on other people's shows. That was one of the first things that helped me overcome my fear of going live. People like Owen, people like Jeff Adams, people like Joel Combe. I really admired their skills. And whenever they did show in the BeLivers group, it's a closed community, a massively huge community. But whenever they asked for someone to come onto the show as a guest, it's like, I'm here, my hand's raised. It was one of the best things that helped me overcome my fear of going live, was not being afraid to raise my hand and to, if somebody said, do you want to be a guest? Raise your hand, go for it. It's a great way to overcome your fear.
awesome. And speaking of going live with purpose, so one of the purpose of going live today is to actually share specifically. So BeLive started out like on Facebook. Now we also support YouTube, and that's actually what we're here to talk about today. So we would love to hear about your experiences going live on YouTube and how you've been using that. Especially now we have scheduling. So this is actually a scheduled broadcast, which is great because you have the link, and you can make it pretty with a thumbnail ahead of time. You can promote it with the link, and people get like a set reminder. So it's a great way to promote the live even before you go live. So like I know, like Steven, you've been using your YouTube channel has grown a lot since you use YouTube Live. Can you share a little bit about that? Like, what is your purpose when you go live on YouTube, and how that kind of affect your sales process in general?
When I go live on YouTube, it's tell a story and to highlight an area where we can be of help to each other. And because I've got the BeLive Studio 2 course, promoting that as well. Not by saying it every few minutes, but it's actually mentioned whilst I'm live. It's mentioned in the description, it's mentioned in the text, it's one of the links that goes underneath. So it's a subtle way, not a direct sales way, but a subtle way of actually telling people about your expertise and how you can help them. And the thing is, because it's live on YouTube, it's a whole new world. We've been live on Facebook now for nearly 4 years, 3.5 years. But Facebook is hidden to Google. If you go live on Facebook and you do a show, then people on Facebook will see it, but nobody else will see it. If you go live on YouTube, then the whole world can see it. YouTube, world's second largest search engine. Google owns YouTube, the world's largest search engine. So if, for argument's sake, I'm not suggesting you do it now, but if you were to go to Google and type in BeLive YouTube and Stephen, you would find me, you would find Brigetti, and you would find Marco, because we've been up to now transferring our videos from Facebook to YouTube. So we've got a back catalogue going back 3.5 years, but now we're able to go live. It's a totally different ball game. And what happened as soon as we could go live on YouTube is I thought, right, I'm going to invest my time in this. And I've had as many views and time watched in the last 2 months than in the previous 10. And it all goes to actually putting the time in on YouTube, to actually getting the SEO right, to getting the promotion right, to using Twitter, to actually a whole range of things that can actually help promote you once you've got your video on YouTube. And it's just an exciting journey.
True. And Marco was saying earlier about like you can't make money going live, but like Marco disagrees. Can you expand a little bit more about that? Like how you've been monetizing live streaming?
Well, mostly because I'm doing trainings on it on that because there's one thing that we should think about when we start creating content, which is don't think in just get money in that moment, just and because there's one thing that a mindset that is on the cloud of internet, that it's you hit a button and your bank account will blow.
Ka-ching!
Yeah, no, it's I don't think it's true. I don't think it's true. Just it's a marathon. Always, always. First, understand that you're starting. You have to make it. Don't think about making money. Okay, it's important for you, and I made that mistake. How should I make money with this? How should I present to the people on the other side something that could buy for me? Because if you give, people get used to that, and it is hard then to sell them. And you have to get money to hit at least. but
Yeah.
but
Go ahead, Marco.
it's important for you to understand how you can make money with this. For instance, you can teach. Well, I'm going to talk about, and it's important. A CTA always, even could be, well, if you want to know something more, reach me out. My email is this one. Because when you're starting, you don't have lots of resources, a fancy landing page and everything, but at least give people the idea to reach you out, because if you don't do it, they won't get you. You can make money by telling people. For instance, you can create a group, a private broadcast on YouTube, which just can go there. People who pays you to get there. Okay. If you do it well and you take care of everything to become a famous, with lots of views on YouTube. You can become paid by Google to put
Mm.
ads on your videos. You can get paid for someone to review their products. You can have a sponsored show with someone. Oh, I want to promote my company on your show. One thing about this: promote a business or a person that you um, believe, someone who is not doing bad things, and because don't get burned because you just want easy money. It's all say, because for instance, I promote BeLive because I use BeLive and I believe in BeLive. Otherwise I won't do that. It's really important for me. It's my brand also on the table. And if it could hurt me somehow, I don't care about the money.
I love that. So Marco is actually everyone's here is a partner of BeLive. So like we have an affiliate program wherein if someone signs up and become a paying user, you actually get a commission for that.
Which is
So
another way to make money.
yes. And oh, I want to share. So one of our like successful partners at BeLive is actually a big YouTuber. So I'm not sure if you know Justin Brown, but he's actually driving a lot of traffic through his affiliate link on YouTube. So that's another great way to also, and not just like for BeLive partners, but in general, affiliate marketing is a great way to supplement your monetization for your YouTube channel. So I'm so glad that you mentioned that. And Brigetti, I know, like, I also followed your content. I know you do a lot of and I the reason why I know about so much about the water crisis in Cape Town is because of your live video, and I started following you around as well on Instagram, and because of that, I started researching more. So, like, can you tell us a little bit more how you did that? You mentioned that a little bit earlier, how you were using live video to create awareness. So, has that changed in the past couple of years? Like, have you been planning to monetize your live streams?
I do wish to monetize it, but I am really not in a rush to
Hmm.
monetize at this point. I'm still very much community driven.
Hmm.
The water crisis and awareness around social needs such as water and energy is still a huge part of my journey. I'm still very, very passionate about it, and tied into that inextricably is BeLive TV, because BeLive gave me the opportunity and the ability to do what I could do in terms of the water crisis. And I can tell you, even now, 3 years later, it still really, really warms my heart when people say to me, "You've impacted my life with the water crisis." Nothing makes me feel more wonderful and joyful when I hear people tell me I've impacted, or I've helped them learn something about water other than just being a consumer and water coming out of the tap, and they've changed the way they've done things. It is incredibly fulfilling. It still is a need, it hasn't, the water crisis is not over. And something I learned that's great is that the water crisis is not just a local thing. The water crisis is a global crisis, and so it's never going to go away. And it will always be a rich part of my journey. Now, when it comes to YouTube, I did start out on Facebook, talking about the water crisis, and I've repurposed a lot of my shows, and I'm still wanting to take a lot of that content because the content is evergreen. And so, why I'm excited about YouTube is that your audience is so much larger, than on Facebook. So you literally, I always say that when you're streaming, you remove the walls from your business or whatever it is you're doing, and you open it up, globally. And yes, Facebook did that to an extent, but YouTube even more so. It does it to the nth degree. You can almost increases your reach hundredfold, and that content is there forever, for all
Mm.
eternity. People will go to YouTube when they're looking for something. And what I liked about YouTube is that people will go and search for water, or on YouTube, and they'll find the content there. um, And yes, so monetization. And I want to touch on something that Marco said just now. He said, when you monetize with live streaming, it's not a sprint. It's not a yeah, it's not a sprint. It's a marathon. In other words, if you're looking to make quick money, a quick buck with live streaming, it's not for you, or you've got the wrong end of the stick.
Mm.
Yes, you can make money with live streaming, but understand that it's a journey. It's not a destination, and it's something that you have to keep doing ongoing. Creating awareness about your product or your service or whatever it is. So yes, the possibility is there to monetize, but don't make that your goal. I think you're going to be disappointed if that is the reason why you're starting live streaming, because I've heard so many other people explain how they've made money, and it's not just direct selling. Yes, we've got amazing examples on BeLive of people who sell products online and they're doing great stuff with it, but people are using live streaming and YouTube to put themselves out there to build that know, like, and trust factor, so that people, when they need something, and that I'm going to tie into another thing that Marco said, is always have your call to action at the end. So talk about whatever it is, but have your call to action. Then lead them to your website or your sales funnel or whatever it is. So yes, I think the bottom line is you can make money with live streaming. Just understand the process of making money with live streaming.
Thank you. I love. I think the best way to summarize is what Marcus said. Like, it's not a sprint; it's a marathon. Kind of like what you can say about love. Speaking
Yes.
of love, because it's Valentine's Day, so I wanted to kind of like just insert that theme. And also, I think a lot of people, especially with the people that I've been following, so live streaming is not like the way to make money, but it's part of their lead generation, or it's part of their content marketing. So, like for Molly, if you know Molly, or if you don't know Molly, she's actually an amazing coach. She helps business owners use live stream to increase their revenue. So, like for her, live streaming is like part of her lead generation. So, and she uses it with many chats. So, like she talks about like tips, and she doesn't like sell anything yet in her course, and then you can join her group for more resources. So, like, it's part of the bigger picture, and it's not like I have to make money on this live. So, and like for me personally, I notice that I buy books of authors if I see them being interviewed either live or recorded on YouTube. So there is actually a research, and I have to double check the numbers, that you actually sell more if you showcase your like book, your service through a live video, but not in a salesy way.
Now,
Yeah.
you just mentioned Molly, and
Yes.
you're actually live with Molly later today.
Yes, so that's actually gonna be tomorrow morning my time.
Mhm.
So it's, but for PST, yes, it's gonna be later. So I'm glad that you mentioned like time zone. We were speaking about time zones earlier. So what one great thing about live streaming is that you can put people together in one screen like this. We're actually from 4 different countries and different time zones. So Stephen, what time is it for you right now? And where are you from?
First of all, I'm in Wiltshire in the UK, close by Stonehenge, and it's 1:29 in the afternoon.
Marco.
Well, I'm in Viana do Castelo, which is a small town in the north of Portugal. I'm really close to Spain, and it's 1:30 p.m.
Awesome. Brigetti?
I'm in Cape Town, South Africa, and it's 3:30 for me now.
Awesome. And I'm from the Philippines. It's 9:29 p.m. my time. So it's that's actually, I think that's the first thing that I fell in love about live streaming. It's like how it brings people together. So usually you have to kind of go out and network, which is
Yeah.
a different story, but like you can't go out all the time. So like this one, like I love being able to be sitting in my home, but talking to these amazing people from different parts of the world. So what about you guys? Like Marco was saying, like love at first live. Like, what was the first thing that you fell in love with about going live?
Well, the mood, it was amazing. I was with another Portuguese, which is the top expert on LinkedIn, and two ladies from Brazil. And as I think you may know, Brazilian people are very happy, very extrovert, and it was amazing. It was huge how I felt at the end of the live, that thrilling, that and that's one thing. For instance, I used to upload my videos to Google Photos to have a backup of my live videos, and sometimes I go there and scroll to look for something, and I watch all the thumbnails. Most of them, me and my guests, we are smiling, and it's so good. For instance, I'm here in a small town. We have, I guess, and I live in the countryside in a little village which has more or less 1,000 people. uh,
Wow.
the town has, I guess, 40,000 people, so it's really, really, really small. And I had guests from across 15 countries. I made it
Wow.
speaking 3 languages. It's also one, and people used to say, ask me those ifs, if this, if that, and if not. Because when I start, my English was not so good, and today it's not even so good. I want to improve, but people used to say, oh, if people ask me, oh, your English is not so good to do it live, well, I have to do it more often to improve it. It's the only secret I know to improve it, to do it often, not to stop. So
Yeah.
that's the thing. Connecting with amazing people all around the world and improving skills while you're doing live streaming, it's huge.
That's actually a great way to like go live so you can practice your English or whatever language
Yeah,
that you're
absolutely.
yeah, you're learning. So guys, I wanna so we have a few minutes before we end the show. I would like to, because now we have YouTube live, we have Facebook live, we have LinkedIn live. Can you tell us a little bit more how your process is, like where do you start your live and how you purpose it? We'd love to know. Brigetti, would you like to share a process with us?
Yes, I have gone live on all three of the platforms, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and on YouTube. And they all serve a different audience. Each platform has got its own personality.
Hmm.
Um, if you wish, if you're talking to your audience on LinkedIn, it's a more of a business community. I love how it has changed, though. It's not, LinkedIn used to be a very stiff, formal community where you
Gray.
kind of like, you had to like, shh, don't talk, or be careful how you say it. And I like how live streaming has changed the landscape of LinkedIn. People are more human, people are more authentic. There's no more the stiff upper lip kind of do's and don'ts. If you can't say this or do this on LinkedIn, live streaming has changed that landscape forever. It has, I think I want to use the word, it's humanized
Mm.
LinkedIn. And that's what I like about LinkedIn live and live streaming. As
Uh,
far as YouTube is concerned, I like to think of YouTube as the place that people go to when they're looking for information, on how to do things. And I think that is why LinkedIn is a great place to monetize. Because if you're looking for something on, how to do XYZ, I don't think people go to Facebook and Google, how do I go live on Facebook?
mhm.
But they will Google, how do I go live, and use YouTube to do that. So if you're doing anything that's how to, and I think a lot of what we're doing anyway is teaching in some form or shape or the other. Everything is teaching. Everything we do is teaching. And so if we repurpose it there and we use the right keywords, which is a bigger thing than it is on Facebook, for example. On Facebook, people go to have conversations and um, to be entertained, however that may be, whether they, whatever the topic is. So each platform has got a different flavor or purpose. But they all use live streaming, and I love that. I love the fact that we can now schedule on YouTube, which is huge. It's absolutely massive being able to do that and to draw in your audience. Because I think that was the first concern people had, is how do I build an audience? But it really, the journey is the same as when we were on Facebook. When we started on Facebook, we had zero. I mean, when I think of Stephen and I, doing our show, how we started with zero audience. We started with nothing. And so, you can't expect that when you're moving over to a new platform like YouTube, that you're suddenly going to have this large audience. Although I will say we do have an unfair advantage in that we've built an audience on Facebook, and we can actually use the scheduling to go to our audience on Facebook and say, we are going live on YouTube. Here's the link. Come and watch us. So that's great. And we can do the same with our LinkedIn audience. If you're going live on YouTube, we can say, here is the link. And that is why the scheduling is so important. I'm going to go live at that time, and this is going to be my content. And I think that's kind of the important part of doing a show card that'll grab people's attention, and having a catchy write-up is important to hook people's attention. Either you're making an attention-grabbing statement, or you're asking an attention-grabbing question to get your audience to go follow you on YouTube.
Yep, that's actually what we're doing with with BeLive, because on Facebook we have a pretty strong and large community, so we're actually using that as a way to drive people to the YouTube channel. So one last question for Steven, like, because one of the audience that we would like to reach right now is like people who are online instructors, coaches. What would be your one tip if they want to go live on YouTube?
Going live on YouTube with Live is simple and straightforward. You need a camera, you need a microphone, you need a script, and you can go live on YouTube, reach new people, and build an audience over time, as Brigetti said. And we're actively doing that. Marco and I were live on LinkedIn earlier today, but to go live on YouTube is just, as Brigetti said, scheduling makes it so easy and straightforward to promote on Twitter, on Facebook, on everywhere, in actual fact. So if you are an instructor, you must have a story to tell, because you've written a book, you've done a course. Tell your story live on YouTube and meet people.
Amazing. And guys, tell us where we can find you and learn more about you. Steven.
If you just type Stephen Healy anywhere. Fortunately, I've been here long enough, but you'll find me. But you can find me in the BeLivers group on Facebook.
Awesome. And Marco.
Well, if you search on almost all platforms, MFC Novo, you will find me. On YouTube, Marco Novo Marketing. I guess it's not easy to but if you search Marco Novo on Google, I think first page it's all by me.
Awesome. I actually love your name, Marco Novo. That's very catchy. I mean, I never forget your name.
You know what it means, Novo?
Oh, no.
New.
Oh, that's awesome. Brigetti, where can people learn more about you?
For me, it's also easy. I have an incredibly unique name. Previously, it was myself and my mom-in-law. If you looked for Limbanda, the only two women you'd find in the entire world was myself and my mom-in-law. She's now passed away. So if you're going to Google Brigetti Limbanda, I'm the only person you're going to find online. So it's pretty easy to find me anywhere if you put my name in.
Awesome. So yeah, actually, I am showing all your names right now. I should have shown it earlier. So yeah, thank you so much for joining us. I've learned so much.
Something to say.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Irene,
Yes.
where can we find you?
Yeah, so I was gonna end end with that. So you can find me on the BeLivers. So if you like are watching this for the first time and you're interested to know more about live streaming, and if you want to overcome your fears of going live, we have the perfect community for you on Facebook. It's called the BeLivers. I'll link everything as well on the description. It's the most awesome place for content creators, business owners, and I'm there every day helping out our existing users and also those who are just starting out. So please do join us if you need more help. And if you're already ready to go live, make sure to go to be.live and sign up for a BeLive account. So that is my CTA, which is very important to say at the end. As as we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. If you have, of
You're
course, if you have
welcome.
more
Thank you to
questions,
all. Thank
yeah,
you all.
sorry.
Bye bye.
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 Bye, everyone.
And we'll get back to it as well after the live. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.